Man, we knew it looked bad. Now we know it was. What does a banged-up Breeze mean to the NFC playoff chase? And next stop, Brooklyn. Harden has his sights set. Can a deal get done? Don't miss Woj with the very latest as we get up with you, starting right now on a Tuesday from the Seaport. Delighted you are here. Greeny and Graziano ready to go, and the football squad is standing by. Woj will join us in a few minutes, but first you will hear from this trio. Marcus Spears ready to go. Greg McElroy ready to go. Jeff Saturday handing out pancakes on this Tuesday morning as we begin with the game of the night. Vikings, Bears, Monday Night Football at the Midway. Kirk Cousins, worst record in Monday Night history, 0-9 as a starter. Here we go, first quarter, 2nd and 10 were scoreless. Nick Foles back to throw, and not well. This is off the hands of Anthony Miller and into the hands of the Vikings, who pick it off, and they're in business in plus territory. And that would lead to this. Cousins. Adam Thielen had 4 catches on the night, 2 of them for touchdowns. This is his first against the Bears in 6 years. And the Vikes, after the 7-0 lead on a one-handed grab in the end zone by Thielen. 2 minutes to play now in the half. Vikings up 7-3. 1st and 10 at the 28. It's Cousins. He's looking for Thielen. This time he's picked off. Khalil Mack just wrestles the ball away. That would set the Bears up. Cousins on the night, 25 of 36, 292, 2 touchdowns, and that pick. It's 7-6 Minnesota at the half. But you know what the Bears' best offensive play is? It's the return of the kickoff. This is Cordarrelle Patterson. And Patterson, by the time he's done, is going to bring this one back 104 yards for the score. The Bears had just 149 yards total offense on the night. This was by far their biggest play. It's also his 8th career kickoff return touchdown, tied for the most ever. Bears up 13-7. 4th quarter, we're tied at 13. Dalvin Cook, over 200 yards rushing each of the previous 2 weeks. Bears bottled him up on this night for the most part. Fumbles there, gets it back, 30 carries, 96 yards for Dalvin. Later in the drive, Cousins rolling. His new favorite target is Justin Jefferson, the rookie. Spectacular, 8 catches, 135 yards, and that would lead to this. Thielen, his 2nd touchdown of the night, his 9th of the season, tied for the most in the league. Vikings missed the extra point. It's 19-13. Foles has a chance. 2.5 to play. 4th and 9. Foles looking, throwing. Anthony Miller is there, but it's just out of his reach. Bears turn it over on downs. But they would get one more chance. Under a minute to play. Still down 6. And this is going to be ugly. Foles going down hard on the hip. Take another look as he will land hard right on that right hip. Right there. He'd be carted off the field, being evaluated for a hip and a leg injury. And so it is injury added to insult for the Bears. Vikings win on Monday night.
This is leg or his hip. So I think they're still working through the details on that. I have not talked to him yet in the locker room. I will here after we're done and just make sure he's okay. I know he's upset. It's been frustrating. It's been hard, and that's the part that's difficult through all this, because no one wants it more than him to be out there to fight with his teammates.
That's a brutal-looking injury, and look, the facts are the facts. With Foles at the helm, the offense is just atrocious. Since Nick Foles became the starter, they're last or second to last in points, in yards, in yards per play. 149 yards, I mentioned, of offense last night, the 4th fewest in a single game across the entire NFL this season. So let me bring the team in here, and we'll start this conversation. And Jeff, I want to start it with you, because we were talking in the meeting before the show that when one side of the ball is as completely inept as the Bears offense has been, next thing you know, you start getting sideways looks in a locker room, and that can create a whole lot of problems. What do you think?
Heck yeah, this is professional football, right, Greeny? We get paid to win. You're costing the defensive players money. We're talking about playoff checks. We're talking about big contracts at the end of the year, all of those things. You're looking over this guy, y'all are straight scrubs, right? Like you haven't scored 20 points in 3 of 4 the last week. Last night you scored 6. We had to spot you the only touchdown we got on defense and special teams. Like, this is absolutely atrocious. Let me tell you what happens. When you start walking in that locker room, every guy starts looking at you going, man, just do your job, right? We have enough talent to do something. You can't convert on 3rd downs. It's just not enough. That frustration begins to build. I'm telling you, I've been on teams. You start looking at guys like, hey, man, you got to pull your freaking weight. We get paid to play. This ain't college. It ain't about friendship, Bo. It's about let's make cash.
Marcus, you are on that defensive side of it. Have you ever seen that? What would you imagine that locker room feels right now for a defense that is championship caliber? The Bears are that good on one side of the ball and that bad on the other.
G is divided. Listen, man, you cannot hide it as professionals. Like Jeff was saying, the bottom line is this. We know how good we are, and we know how bad you are. As much as we want to talk about a team, look, the normal week of practice, the defense is in their rooms, getting coached up, getting ready to play a game, and the offense is in their rooms, getting coached up and playing a game. And we see each other when we hit the practice field. We expect the same type of production or the same elevated level of interest in getting your job done at a high level as the opposite side. So, yeah, there's sideways looks. And we messed up and mad about all of the situations. Trubisky, Foles, the decision making with the coaches, all of that stuff is starting to bother you. And this is usually what balls over and you see people going different places.
Yeah, we just saw the general highlight there of how bad it looked. Greg, let's take a closer look. I know you put together some tape that really illustrates just how bad this offense was last night.
Yeah, the fact that this team was 5-1 at one point is quite literally a modern-day miracle. But if I'm going to put the silver lining on it, I can really boil it down to execution because there were opportunities last night in the passing game in which the coaches were able to get guys open. Here's Foles looking left. Middle linebacker's going left. He's got a window. The middle of the field is open. Drive it. Instead, Foles double clutches. The linebacker can recover. He's forced to throw it high around the linebacker. It's intercepted. Then in the red zone, you got Jimmy Graham. Look at the separation. Plenty of room. I mean, the guy's open. This is a touchdown for 85% of quarterbacks in this league. Ball's just high and outside. And then this one's really bad. This is just a hot route. I mean, throw it to Cordero Patterson. He's your best player right now. Give it to him in the flat. Maybe he makes a guy miss. You find a way to get into the end zone. So if there's one silver lining I'm going to take from last night is that guys were open. The execution just needs to improve here over the next 2 weeks if they're going to be better on offense.
All right, and can I bring it to Graziano for a minute here? Because it feels like there's a couple of questions that I want to get to with you. And first of all, obviously, we see the injury to Foles at the end. And none of this is we certainly hope that he's not seriously hurt. Have we heard anything about the injury to this point?
Tests last night. They'll do more tests during the week. It doesn't sound overly alarming at this point, but obviously too soon to know for sure. And they do have the bye this week, so he has a couple of weeks to heal up if indeed he is okay.
Okay, so you have that one, and obviously Trubisky is also dealing with an injury with the shoulder. So if Foles is unable to go, it's not quite clear what direction that would take. Then let's talk about the coaching. I can tell you right now, being pretty plugged into some people in Chicago, that the fans are getting restless there. The talk show hosts are getting restless in Chicago, and most of the criticism is now aimed at the head coach, Matt Nagy. What do we know of his security?
When we were doing some reporting on the coaching situations around the league about a month ago, we were being told that Nagy was safe in Chicago, that he was going to get another shot to come back next year. Now, of course, they've lost their last 4 games, right? They are 2-5 since making the switch from Mitchell Trubisky to Nick Foles, who was Matt Nagy's, hand-picked quarterback to come in because he was supposed to know the offense so well. Obviously, they're scoring less than 16 points a game in their current 4-game losing streak. I mean, these guys are talking about the defense. If you know you can't give up 17, that's a hard team to keep together. So we're going to make our rounds again in early December, and it's possible, obviously, the situation has changed.
So let me then, if I can, Cindy, let me go back over here and try and get Marcus back in one more time because I wanted to ask you this question. We just saw Greg do a really good tape showing that there were opportunities out there on the field that were not taken advantage of. To you, Marcus, if you were to assign the blame here, is it the execution or is it the coaching? Do you believe the coach gets the responsibility for how bad this offense has been?
It's the coaching, G. Look, you were bad with a different quarterback. And a part of
you.